And it's real.
And I had somebody ask me, "What's up, everybody?" I had somebody ask me if this was a green screen. I'm like, how in the hell could this be a green screen? And then I'm like drawn on the thing and stuff. But I said, no, it's real. I
Huh.
mean, I'm, working on my patience. Stu, I found something that I thought you would think is cool. So
Okay.
do you want to see the first info product I ever sold from stage?
Yeah. Let's see that.
Okay. It's right here. So this is the front, that's the side, and that's the back.
Nice.
Now, I'm gonna just not to take over, but can you guess what's in here, Stu?
VHS tape.
A VHS tape, Stu. And that says copyright
Wow.
2000. So this is 26 years old. When I
Th-
made this,
Did you make them by hand, like
dude,
or did you have somebody do it for you?
no, I made all of these were made by hand
I did the same thing.
in the back of a trailer. I had 4 or 5 VCRs stacked and daisy chained. And I would put the tapes that I got from like Walmart or Target or something, wherever was
Same.
cheapest. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Put them all in there and then hit record, 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 and then play on the main one. And then printed this out on my color inkjet, then printed the labels and put the labels on them and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know how much this sold for, Stu?
I don't know. Wow. 89 bucks.
89 bucks. 89 bucks back in 2000
That's some good
was a
money.
chunk, right?
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I was down in I was at great events in Virginia Beach, and I had gotten invited to speak to a group of agents and brokers. And the reason that they had me speak is because I knew about websites and online marketing and selling stuff. And this is, I was selling my book and I'd been in the New York Times, and, I had 2 products I was selling on the internet. And I talked and I said, and I was talking for free. And the week before I said, I can't get on stage and not sell something. So I went down to CompUSA. You remember CompUSA?
oh yeah.
And I bought this thing called a scan converter where you could hook your computer to your TV. And then I got a thing called a super VHS. I took my wife and I had 600 bucks in the bank. That was all of our savings. And I spent 500 of that $600 to buy the scan converter and the super VHS and then a mixing board from Radio Shack.
Mm.
And I had a microphone. I set up this thing in the living room. I set up a recording studio in the living room of the trailer where we were living. Okay. Sitting at the coffee table, cross legged on the floor. And I taught a 2-hour class with demonstrating stuff on my computer and everything else. Zero edits. I had to do it perfectly
Damn.
because there's no mixing board or anything. There's no way to mix it. It had to be perfect.
Right.
And I sat there and recorded that thing. And so I'm in Virginia Beach and I give my talk and I hold up my thing and say I've got, I had like 20 of them. Well, they started lining up to buy them. And there were more people lined up to buy than there were copies. And so I said, don't worry, I'll have it to you within a week. Man, I was heading up not 199, but
64.
64. I was coming out of Virginia Beach, whatever the one is out of
Yeah.
64. I'm coming out of Virginia Beach, hanging right on 64 and hauling ass to Williamsburg to start duping these things. And then I went around and delivered them because they were all Long and Foster offices. But I made like 6,000 bucks. And I was like, holy shit, I made more in an hour on stage than I made all of like the previous month or more selling this thing. I said, I need to do this again. I mean, I was
Yeah.
hooked, man.
Yeah.
Um, but it was funny because the books that actually real estate agents were mad at me for doing the one book because the book one book's about how to sell your house yourself. But
Yeah.
what they wanted more was what did I know about using the internet to actually get leads?
Hmm.
So that's what that thing was all about, was basically getting leads through the internet way back when. So
Nice.
anyway, that was my very first info product I ever sold from stage. And that's pretty cool. And God
Absolutely.
bless Dexter because I didn't save a copy of this
Hmm.
for myself. And he was the training director at Long and Foster in the Long and Foster region.
Hmm.
And they were cleaning out something one time and he found this and he brought it to me and he's like, hey man, do you want this? I was like, oh my God. So the cool souvenir. Anyway, I found that cleaning up the other day. It's going to be part of my master class in a couple of weeks when we do the master class in copying content. So
Nice.
anyway, but that kind of fits with our topic for today. But have you ever sold anything from stage, Stu?
Hmm. No. I mean, I have talked about things that I sell, but not
Uh-huh.
like a direct selling of something on stage.
Okay.
So I mean,
But you
yeah.
got leads from
Oh
stage.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Like I push
That
people to
counts.
my website,
Yeah.
on stage. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you sold stuff.
Yes.
So you've sold stuff from stage, just
Yes.
indirectly. Um, you ever sell any consulting or coaching from your books?
Yes.
Stu's like, yeah, no kidding, Jim. Yeah, I do it all the time. In fact, that's probably a large source of my business.
That is very big.
Um, okay. So, what's the difference between coaching and consulting, Stu?
Mm.
I,
Is
I
this a
think
joke?
it's a zero. It's like
It's like
consult
I
coaches get 3 grand, consultants get 30.
right. Yeah, yeah. There you
Um,
go.
so I think consultants talk about what to do, coaches show you what to do. That's another way to look at it.
Okay. I like that.
Okay, so pitch from the stage, gathering leads from the stage, people hiring you to do consulting and coaching. Um, you got any high ticket products based on any of your books, Stu?
Yes.
What you got?
Coaching plans, bundles.
What's the most somebody can spend with you? What's the highest
Uh,
ticket thing you got?
I mean, I would say the usual one is like a $800 purchase, but I
A
do
month.
have,
It's 800 a month though.
yeah, I used to have another one that was like 3,200,
Okay.
and I just took it down just for a little bit. I'll probably put it back up again,
Okay.
but
You got any info products or stuff based on your books that people can give you a bunch of money for?
like, what do you mean?
I don't know. I think you
Oh, I
have
have
a
like
whole
memberships, membership plans. Is that what you're talking about?
man got so much stuff he doesn't even know what he got. You
Yeah.
got membership, you got your never quit mindset
Oh, yeah,
home
yeah,
study course, you
yeah,
got coaching at like, small, medium, and large.
yeah.
See, you've got this stuff baked so much into your life and your business, you don't even think about it. But most people tell me about when you first wrote your very first book and you were haunting the halls of the Naval Academy, waiting to get out, and you met that publisher. What
Yeah.
was going through your mind when you realized you were going to have a published book?
That was big. I was ready to retire and never have to work again.
Because
Live off royalties.
right, right, yeah, you were going to live off royalties. Okay.
Yeah. I
How'd that
bought a
work out?
I bought a house that I could not afford, largely because I was a published author and living off royalties, and the mortgage folks were like, "Oh yeah, he could pay for this."
You're shitting me for real?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
I've
it helped. Let me just say,
oh,
it helped.
sure.
But I had very little um, what do you call it? Like evidence that I was going to make a lot of money. It was assumed.
So as someone who did hundreds and hundreds of VA loans, myself, there's a lot of creative documentation that can be done to justify what someone is doing
Yes.
after their military service. Okay.
It was a little bit of that too. Yes.
Yeah. So good move. But what you figured out real quick is that you make money with a book, not with the book, but because of the book.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Like how many books?
Because of that book, I started a website and
Uh-huh.
immediately went into online coaching.
Okay.
That
A-
was that was my first online business deal. Then I started creating articles and more books and things like that.
Right. But
Yeah.
the book immediately led to coaching.
Yes.
And how much were you charging for coaching at the time? Now, this is 30 years, 20 years ago,
It was
25
not
years ago.
much. It was like I think $250 for 12 weeks. I mean, it
Holy
was
crap.
yeah. Yeah, but it was easy. I mean, it was a 12-week plan and
Okay.
didn't take me a whole lot of time.
Yeah. But $250, even just $250, how many books do you have to sell to get $250 if you were doing the traditional royalty rate from your publisher?
Oh yeah. Let me see. I think that it came out to like a $1.50 a book.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So
So
you
a
had to
lot.
sell 150 to 175 books to make $250.
Yes.
So, and there's something that I have been really thinking about, something I actually have new thoughts. You believe that, Stu? Have new thoughts. Um, this is the figure, you've heard stuff like cost per click
Yep.
and things like that, but RPR, here's the thing to think about: revenue per reader. I want you to think about this. One person reads your book. Okay. So one book translating into a $250 coaching client. What's the revenue per reader? 250 bucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You sell 175 books to make 250 in royalties. What's that revenue per reader?
About $1.25.
About a
Yeah.
buck and a quarter. Okay. Which of these would you rather have?
Yeah. The
Okay.
one book.
What's the most anybody's ever paid you for something? Not like when you did
Question.
security at the Olympics and stuff like that, but I mean like for
Yeah,
coaching stuff.
I sold a written program for $20,000.
Okay. Did the person come from an article or a book?
Um, yeah,
Maybe. Okay.
yeah,
Let's look at it a little bit differently. Maybe that's not the right one, but let's say, okay, let's say you went to an event, and let me know if this is reasonable.
yeah.
Okay. You go to an event, you got your Stu Smith rucksack on, and you got 10 copies of your book. And you meet 10 people at this event, and you just talk to them and you hand them a copy of your book. Some of them are coaches, some of them are podcasters, some of them are potential customers. What you tell me, what could potentially come out of that? Could you get a coaching client out of that? Okay,
Yes,
would that be reasonable that someone would hire you to do some coaching? Would it
yes,
be reasonable that you might get on a podcast? Would it be reasonable that you might even get on somebody's stage?
yes.
Okay. So you tell me, like, if you were going to an event, you were going to that strength and conditioning coach thing that you used to go to when you spoke from stage
Yep.
and all the people that were there, you tell me what would be a reasonable amount of money that handing out 10 books to all those people, what would be a reasonable thing that you could expect to have happen from that?
Um, I would definitely say somebody's going to look into a coaching program. Somebody's going to look at have me on their podcast. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, and do another speaking gig.
Okay. So I'm just going to like totally lowball this. Would
Okay.
it be reasonable for you to expect to make $2,000 as a result of going to that event,
Yeah,
handing out those 10 books?
not unreasonable.
Okay. So 2,000 bucks in miscellaneous income. What does that make your revenue per reader? Handing out those books. And by the way, I don't give a
200.
shit. I don't give a shit if they read it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the fact
200.
that you handed it to them. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
200
business
bucks.
card. Yeah.
Right. 200 bucks. Now, I'll give you a real world example. Real world. Year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, at an event, selling our software, 997 bucks for the year, selling people into the event, or selling people at the event. I have 50 copies of my book, not this book. I don't have the thing. Well, it was the Secret Sales Code, the one about disc. Didn't even publish it up on Amazon yet. Handed out 50 copies of our book. Okay. The key was you only got the book if you paid for a year of copy and content. So I had 2 boxes of 25. I handed out 50 copies. The only way you could get a copy is if you bought. So that means I brought in, we'll just round it, okay? $50,000, actually more because we sold other people too, monthly and other stuff. But what was my revenue per reader there? 50 copies, $50,000.
1,000.
$1,000. And that was with a book that wasn't even published on Amazon yet. And I had never sold a single retail copy.
Nice.
Which one of these would you rather chase? The royalties or one of these other ones?
Definitely the other ones.
Right. Which one actually is the most amount of work?
I guess royalties would be pretty challenging.
Well, if you're doing it by the hour.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, royalties is very hard.
It's really hard. That's
Yeah.
why I think the average business book in its first year sells between 500 and 1,200 copies. I don't know the exact stats, and it depends on who you're listening to, who you're talking to, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I
mean, the chances of a Navy SEAL fitness book selling like Harry Potter is pretty slim.
Only if there's some sex in it. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to put some magic into it.
Hey, if you had a magic pill that was taped to the back of the book and you took it and you looked like Bradley Cooper, yeah, that'd be awesome. Unless you're a lady, then that's not what you want. But my point is that thinking in terms of royalties with a book is a trap. But if you think about a book as a vehicle to get coaching clients, to get speaking gigs, to get sales of other products, to get consulting gigs, to get on people's stages, to use as credibility, to have that people write articles about you. Here's something most people don't know. Stu's been on national TV several times because of his books.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, you can look up on. There's one where Stu, he was in a wet T-shirt contest, disguised as an ice bath, And then he shot a guy in the forehead. That was pretty cool. What was
That was
that?
a good one.
Fight Science.
Fight Science, yeah.
And then weren't you on The View a couple times?
Twice. Yeah,
And
that was fun.
you've gotten some. What was that like? I mean, did they pay to fly you to New York, or did you have to make your own way up there?
Yeah, they reimbursed me.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
And
took a train.
did they do that because you're just an awesome guy, or did they contact you because you had a book?
It was my book, and it was my publisher got it. You know, he was in New York, so
Okay.
yeah, he actually did it. I didn't do it.
Okay. Cool. So you can also get publicity. What other cool stuff has happened to you because of your book or books?
Mm. I don't
Well,
know. I mean, it was the start of a whole new career. I mean, because of that book, I saw that I could make money in the fitness business, not just being a trainer. And, you know, and just luckily, or you could say I made my own luck, just evolved with the technology to make it, you know, what I've been doing now for over 25 years.
right. Well, but that because of your book, you've been writing for military.com
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
for how many years? 20 some
20,
years?
yeah, since 2003.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been writing for military.com. You've written for other places. People have paid you for articles. You've been on stages all over the world. You turned down speaking gigs
Hmm.
because you're happy being a suburban dad.
Yeah.
Um, you got to come shoot at my house. I mean,
That
come
was
on.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. The cops didn't like you shooting at my house. They wanted you to be on the range, but that's okay. A little misunderstanding. Hey, Stu, come shoot at my house. Okay. Um, but see, here's the thing. Everybody thinks that you got to have a book that you sell, and chasing royalties, chasing retail sales is actually the crappiest way to make money with a book.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest way. So if you're somebody who wants to speak, if you're a speaker, a book is going to help you get booked to speak. Because if you pick out 10 event planners, or you pick out 10 people that have events, and send them your book and then follow up, you got a much better chance of getting somebody to at least acknowledge you than just firing off emails. If
Yeah.
you want to get on a specific podcast, the fact that you are the author of a specific book that is relevant to that audience, given hiring one versus the other, they're gonna book the person who has the book, because then it gives them something to talk about. If you want to do consulting or coaching, I can't even tell you how many people that are in our ecosystem. I'm thinking of Bradley right off the top of my head, who does government contracting, and he basically took his book, put it with a contract when he submitted it, and got like a $250,000 contract. I may have butchered that,
That's cool.
but there's just so much credibility that comes from that. And when you're coaching people, your book is like the textbook for the coaching. In fact, you have to teach less in the coaching than you do in the book, because you end up just teaching the 10 or 20% that gets them 80 or 90% of the results. Would you agree, Stu?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, do you have to explain nearly as much when you're talking to some guy about mobility or strength training or losing weight or stuff, or do you pretty much just cut straight to the chase?
Yeah, I don't have to BS anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
um my buddy who wrote the guerrilla marketing series books, J. Conrad Levinson, I was sitting in the back of a limousine with him in Vegas. We just finished speaking at the same event, and we were just talking. We were talking about books, and he says, "Yeah, I got a friend of mine who's got a best-selling diet book." He said it basically comes down to eat 2 tablespoons of fiber every day and walk 20 minutes, and the rest is 200 pages of bullshit. And those were his words, not mine. Um, but it was just funny that anyway, it was just funny. I mean, it's you can boil everything down. The high ticket stuff, there are people who will pay you a lot more money than you think to help them get a specific result if you have two things. One, you have credibility, which and authority, which comes from a book. And two, you have a system that will help them get a specific result. That's I'm just boiled down everybody's 2 week $20,000 course on how to do high ticket items. Okay. You have credibility and authority that you know what the hell you're talking about, and you have a system that will help them get a specific result that they really want. There you go. So, how do you do that? You have a book you can show them. Hey, I know what the hell I'm talking about. Here's my system, and I'll walk you through it. And then publicity, using a book to leverage that to get to publicity is a big deal. Well, we've been doing a lot of talking. Anybody that's here, we got some people here with us live. Thoughts, questions? Just curious. Um, but I'm really with this thought of the revenue per reader is really something that when I thought about that, I was like, holy crap, dude. That's what you're after. I'm not
Revenue per reader.
after, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, I mean, I'm not after a gajillion sales. I'm after a gajillion dollars and having a bunch of impact on people. And if you think about it, if you're chasing royalties and you're chasing just like sales figures, okay, that's an ego driven thing. And do you want to feed your ego, or do you want to get results? Ego is tied up in sales figures. Results is tied up in bottom line dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wrote a book and only ever handed it to 10 people, and one of those people handed you $1 million, would you think that book had been a success?
Yeah, I would say.
Hell yeah, I'll write it this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just a totally different way of looking at it. But this is where everybody looks. And it's a mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, if you can have massive distribution and have a really high revenue per reader, that's awesome.
Yeah.
If you're doing like a free plus shipping funnel, okay, we had a free plus shipping funnel for copywriting secrets, where we gave away a free copy of the book. And so we were immediately in the hole, like $5, because of what it cost to print the book and ship the book for $9.99 and all that good stuff. And then we had an audio book upsell immediately. That was the one that you and I did. I read the book to you, and then you asked me questions.
That was good.
So that was an order bump. Then we had OTO number 1 was a story selling secrets. So it was a course, and it was $97. And then we had OTO number 2 was funnel scripts, which was the last generation of my copywriting software, and that sold $797, I think. So what we ended up having, and thinking revenue per reader without even forcing somebody to read the damn book, this was anywhere between $35 and $60, depending on the traffic source and some other stuff. So we started out in the hole, but when you averaged it out across all that traffic, we were giving away a book and losing $5 on it, but our average revenue per reader was between $35 and $60. How many of these these free books would you try and give away?
As many as I could.
Tens of thousands.
Yes.
Tens of thousands. Okay. That was when we were doing, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 a month in Facebook ads.
Mm,
That, you know, would you spend $100,000 on Facebook ads if it was profitable? Hell yeah.
yeah.
So that, and then it just runs its course. You know what I mean? So now we're working on, I'm putting the finishing touches on copy hacking secrets, which is all about how to apply all the principles from copywriting secrets with AI now.
Oh, nice.
And that should be out late spring. I'm publicly declaring it.
Nice. I like it.
And so anyway, but that you just thinking about that revenue per reader is something that's really resonating with me. I don't know if it resonates with you all. Give us a comment in the comments, but it throws it into a whole different perspective of using the book as a tool rather than the book just kind of I throw it on the shelf and I pray that I make money with it.
Yeah. You
What are the
pray that
things?
your publisher and the people that are part of that whole ecosystem, the publicist and all of them are actually doing their job.
They're not.
And usually they're not. And I've been probably the best publicist of my own work than the actual publicist hired by the publisher.
But
It can be a headache.
publishers don't sell books, they print books, and they don't even print books.
Yeah.
Publishers outsource to printers
Oh yeah.
like Ingram Spark.
Yep.
So they're not even in the business. They're just a middleman now that may have some contacts, but they're not, and a publicist, what does a publicist do? They try to get you exposure.
Yeah.
Well, I can try,
Yeah, I'd try.
you know.
The
It
only cool thing that I have seen with having a published book is that I walk into a bookstore and it's there. But that's it. That's not putting food in my belly.
They still make you pay for the coffee at Starbucks at Barnes and Noble. It's not like
Yeah.
you get free coffee.
Uh-uh. And don't fall for the book signing. Complete waste of time.
Okay. Well, there's a little story there. What do you?
Oh,
What
I just remember like leaving a family function because I had this book signing I had to go do, and I sold all of 2 books.
right.
And I was in a bad mood going into it anyway, so I should, you know, was one of those things that, yeah,
I
I
can't
never,
imagine.
never did another one.
I can't imagine you being in a bad mood. I've never seen you in a bad mood.
Well, I wasn't a bad mood. I was just, like, is this going to be worth leaving this family event? And it wasn't a
Right.
big family event. It wasn't something that was a birthday or anything, but it was just one of those things that, yeah, I could be just chilling and hanging with the family right now, but instead I'd drive 30 miles and go sit in a bookstore. No one else was there on a rainy night. It was just one of those things that it was just like, come on, what am I doing? Had to readjust. But you learn from those things. I became smarter after that, Jim, and I
There
haven't
you
done a
go.
book signing since.
Well, it's funny. I busted my butt trying to get a publisher and got rejected 40 plus times. Couldn't get a publisher when I wanted one. And now I don't need one and don't want one. And they
Yeah.
just get in the way. And I turn people down who are like, hey, we'd like to talk to you about publishing your next book. I'm like, no thanks.
Right. And here's the thing. I had a really good book signing
Hmm.
once. Guess how many books I sold and signed?
Probably 5 or 6.
It was actually 40,
Oh,
but
where was it?
it was in Annapolis.
Oh,
But
well, no shit. Okay.
but here's the deal. Um, that's what, $60 that I actually made,
Yeah.
you know. And I wasn't smart because I wasn't selling online coaching with it. It was just
You were
anyway.
there, and the
I w-
reason you sold those were because half of them were students, the other half were alumni. And oh, that's a spec ops training guy. Yeah, we need to buy his book because it'll make us stronger just by owning it.
yeah.
Hell, I can
So
increase my PT score by 20% through osmosis. I'm going to sleep with this book.
so anyway, I've learned a lot over the years, and I would much rather self-publish. I would much rather use the book as a tool and create bigger programs and courses from that book that sell better.
So I talk about, one of the things that I is my claim to fame. And, it's talking about the publicity you gets you more credibility than actual sales. So, like, here's the article of me being in the New York Times. Okay, this was on the front cover of the New York Times real estate section. So, me gave my web address in the second paragraph, quotes me. Guess how many books I sold as a result of this? Front cover, real estate section, New York Times Sunday.
I don't know. Not many.
3. Okay, but I have leveraged the fact that, and part of what they featured me also for was it was an ebook and I was selling ebooks and all that
Oh,
stuff.
sure.
But the credibility has been absolutely priceless. Same thing with
Absolutely.
being on. I mean, look at that picture. I mean, that's front cover of the Richmond Times Dispatch, huge regional paper. That was the picture that I had on the front cover Sunday edition.
Looking sharp.
Um, Couple books, pissed off
Yeah.
a bunch of real estate agents.
Oh, I bet.
Okay. But leverage this for credibility big time. I'm not poo pooing it. What I'm saying is that publicity doesn't necessarily result in sales of books, but the publicity results in credibility for you that you can leverage these ways that we're talking about beyond measure.
Right.
Like Entrepreneur Magazine. Okay. Here's Jim. This is me back in my red Hawaiian shirt days. Okay. I don't think I got any business from this, but the fact that they featured me has gotten me a ton of credibility in business.
Sure.
So the reason why you want publicity from your book isn't necessarily for book sales, but the credibility that it gives you that results in this kind of stuff happening. Okay, so I'm not poo-pooing it. You want to. I
Yeah.
mean, we got guys. Chip here was able to leverage his book into. He is writing a monthly column in a local magazine. That the magazine is also having them speak to all of their people. They're having him speak to their customers live from stage. Stephen just got a huge write-up in a regional publication I saw on Facebook. It's but if you don't develop the other part of your business around your book, if you don't develop your speaking, your coaching and other stuff like that, you're closing yourself off from opportunities that are the real opportunities with your book.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what we have? Mary asked, I'm interested in an audio version of my book for an OTO. And I kind of remember you have a genie for that. Is that right? So what Stu and I did was to create the audiobook version of the book is literally we jumped on a Zoom. I think it took us 3 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And I read the book to Stu. And then Stu asked me questions. And that was our enhanced audio version of the book. Now, we didn't do it at the audio quality that would allow Amazon to accept it as an audio book. But I didn't care about having it on audio on Amazon. I needed the audio version to go in the funnel. And we made a lot more because we were selling that for like 20 or 30 bucks. So I was getting it, the whole Navy SEAL interviewed me, held my feet to the fire, grilled me after every chapter. Made a lot more money doing it on my website than if I'd have had the same thing available on Audible, where everybody's like, can I use my coupon? Why is this $20 when Stephen somebody's book is $4.99? So it's just that it's anyway. That's
Yeah.
how we made the money with it.
Yeah. Another
Um,
option, Amazon will make the audiobook for you, but if you
yep,
want it as a OTO, it's best to do it yourself. I don't know if there's a software that can do it for you.
there are.
Yeah.
There's like 11 labs. You can train 11 labs in your voice, and then I think
Oh,
it last time I checked, it costs like a in credits and stuff, it costs you like $100,
oh,
and
that's cool.
you can submit your manuscript, and it'll read your book in your voice and do it at
Nice.
the right thing. So, but one of the things I want to show you, if you're wondering, okay, well, this is all good, what the hell does this have to do with copying content? Well, check this out. So here's Stu's book, Complete Guide to Navy SEAL Fitness. Uh, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab his description, and then I'm going to come over here into the value ladder genie. I'm going to dump the book description into the easy button, and I'm going to have the genie help brainstorm some back end offers for Stu's book. So here's our specific product type, um, ideas, got his stuff, got his identity, filled in all this, all looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is have this generate lead gen stuff related, low ticket stuff, mid range, high ticket, premium. And so now this is going to generate a whole bunch of different ideas of stuff that we could potentially offer on the back end of this book. So lead gen stuff, it could do a Navy SEAL fitness challenge, either an ebook or just regular challenge. And some of this stuff you do, you do like your Q&A webinars. You have tons and tons of videos that you do. Um, how did that thing that we did a couple weeks ago, the thing about the scorecard or the your rate your readiness level, how did that do? I meant to follow up and ask. We're okay. Time out. Totally changing topic, but I meant to ask and I haven't seen you. How did that go? What happened?
Yeah, I made a really cool article about it and have been sending it out and having people do it, people responding back. So it's like I send it out to not only customers but potential customers, and they're answering all 25 questions and then getting a score and responding. So they're taking it seriously, and I got some really cool um, feedback from it, as well as customers as well.
Any sales? I mean, you had that thing loaded up like a freaking vending machine with different things people could buy. Have you
Oh
tracked any
yeah,
sales from it?
oh yeah. I mean that is a link to everything from the never quit mindset in there to the fitness test program to you name it.
Okay.
You name
But
it.
so you're also though sending it to individuals and being like, hey, take this assessment and give me your answers and I'll recommend stuff for you. So you're
Yep.
like using it one on one, not just
I've done it,
as a
yeah, multiple ways. Social media ate it up. In fact, I'll probably post it again today just because it did so well. I think just on my story alone on Instagram, more than 2,000 people like opened it up, like
really.
click the link. Yeah,
Okay. That's cool. That's
yeah.
awesome. Okay. That's really cool.
Because I mean, it's kind of cool whenever you see here's your scorecard. Where do you rank? You know,
Yeah.
people want to
Yeah.
know.
Are you ready for buds or to be a Walmart greeter? All right, you know. Now I apologize. Nothing against Walmart greeters. They're cool, but I'm just that was, you know. Anyway, if you're offended by that, you're probably on the wrong podcast. So look at this elite fitness assessment tool. So you've got
Oh, there
that.
you go. Yeah.
So these are all just kind of things that you could use to drive people to the book or what have you. But now we're getting into low ticket. So train like a Navy SEAL 30-day workout challenge app, nutrition blueprint for elite fitness. Do you have any nutrition stuff that you just mostly articles? You don't really have a nutrition book or anything.
No, I don't. I have a nutritionist that I refer to and do things with, but
Okay.
yeah.
Stu Smith and Jack LaLanne have the same attitude towards nutrition. If it tastes good, spit it out. There you go.
No.
Uh,
He
fitness
was
and
wasn't
ass-
he like a vegan or something? I'm definitely
no, I
not a
don't think he
vegan.
was a vegan.
Oh yeah,
He
he was
was.
vegetarian at least.
Was he really?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Look at this 10 video series functional fitness techniques. That kind of goes along with stuff you're already doing.
yeah.
Motivational community membership. You've got that. Interactive nutrition coaching call. So maybe not the nutrition, but you also offer a
Coaching
coaching
call,
call. Somebody can pay you
absolutely.
$100 and bend your ear.
Yep.
Um,
No,
let's
that's a
see.
really good list.
Seal Focus workout app, you've got something like that. Elite
Yep, yep.
Fitness Boot Camp. Have you ever thought about like trying to get a bunch of guys to come for a weekend and just doing like a boot camp? I don't know whether they would or not, but I don't know if you ever thought about that.
Um, no.
Online
Yeah,
fitness challenge series. Ooh, motivational webinar series. You've got that with the
yep.
well, not motivation, but the mental fitness
Mindset.
stuff.
Yep,
Personal training packages.
yep.
So that's why you like, yeah, I'm already doing this, Jim.
No,
Um,
there's
you
some
ever
ideas in here.
you should do like that. What Divine? What's his first name? Divine Eddie or no? Mark Divine.
I have done those, and it's not worth the effort.
Okay.
Yeah, staying up 24 hours,
Ew, I ain't
putting
coming
on
for
it.
that.
Yeah, it's like how hard do you want to make it? I'd have to pull back a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah,
Now I will come to. I'll come to Annapolis to hang out in the family bar and drink beer and pretend like we can like swap stories and stuff. That'd be fun. But
that'd
no, you
be
ain't keeping me up all night. I go to
yeah.
bed. Um, But a lot of these you've tried or done elite one-on-one coaching, you've got that.
Yeah.
um, and then ultra. So the thing is though, if you've got a book or you've got an idea for a book and you're like, I don't know how I would translate this into what y'all are talking about. Well, here's a great tool to help
Yeah.
you do that. The Value Ladder Genie also under offers. Okay. We've got the offer brainstorm genie, $1 million offer genie, OTO offer genie. You got the value ladder genie. You got all kinds of genies here that can help you brainstorm the stuff for your book. And if you're like, well, I don't even have a book yet, fine. If you're thinking about writing a book, somebody on Amazon has probably written a book similar to the one that you are thinking about writing. And if you're trying to figure out what the back end would look like for that, it's fine to take their description of their book. That's all I did.
Hmm.
Drop it into the easy button on one of these brainstorming genies, hit the easy button, double check that it looks straight, and then make your little tweaks, hit build, and then brainstorm. There's no law against that. You're just brainstorming how you would do this. But the key is stop thinking, don't fall into the trap of royalties
Mm.
because that's not how you make money with a book. But when you start thinking about all the different ways that you can make money with a book and get that revenue per reader up, all of a sudden, someone who never thought about writing a book before probably ought to think about writing a book
Hmm.
because it gives you the authority, it gives you the credibility, it gives you the blueprint, it gives you the process, it gives you the basis to do all these other things. Um, That's all I got. I know Mary was asking a question in September. I started using Genie. I'm not be able to find it when I do a search. We're able to do a couple thousand words a day. Is it gone now? I'm gonna have to go back and I off the top of my head, I'm not sure which one you're thinking of, unless. Oh, I know. Hang on. I know what I'm 99% sure. Go on the dashboard. Oh, let me share my screen. Sorry. On the dashboard, the main dashboard under Soul. Okay. The Soul Interrogator Genie is the one that you can use to have it ask you questions and
Oh,
help draw it out of you. And then the Soul Content Genie is where you can take what you generate here, throw it over into the Soul Content Genie, and that was a terrible snap, and turn it into, take it from being dictated stuff and thoughts and really refine it down so it reads amazingly well, super fast. Hopefully
cool.
that's the one you were looking for, Mary. If it's not, please share the link and which one you were talking about so I can make it easier for you to find it next time. So appreciate that. Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. So she was talking about the text to speech Genie, where it'll basically, you can drop in text and then it'll turn it into audio. Yes. Okay. So Stu, I'm going to
Yep.
let you wrap it up. What are the big takeaways that the folks should have from today's presentation?
Whew, that's a good one, Jim. I would definitely say we kicked it around that royalties aren't as good as what you can get on the other side of your book,
Okay.
right? Meaning all the extra benefits of having a book and being an author and being an authority in your chosen field. That is what's going to bring in more money and bring in more money easier than
Yeah.
having to sell thousands or more
And
books
faster.
and faster. Yeah,
Yeah. Stop thinking royalties and start thinking revenue per reader.
I like
And you
that.
do that, and I think you're going to do a lot better. So, okay, last but not least, last week we did our Authority Book Blueprint webinar. It was extremely successful. We had a ton of people on there. Had a slight technical issue where I thought I had a Zoom account that could accommodate a certain number of people, and I was wrong. And so I had to literally, while we had people coming in, I had to upgrade my account
Hmm.
right then while we were doing the introduction. And so some people had trouble getting in. It was, I may, mea culpa, my fault. So we're going to actually be doing that presentation again on Tuesday. If you would like to join us, where we'll be talking about these very things, as well as sharing some case studies and how you can get a book done super fast, you can go to authoritybookblueprint.com and register for the free training. People loved it. And so we're going to be doing it again. If you missed it or if you want to catch it again, head to authoritybookblueprint.com and you can register for the webinar. If you've ever thought, hey, I should write a book, or, how did Jim help all these people write their books in just a couple, 3 weeks? I will show you exactly how. So head to authoritybookblueprint.com and sign up. And if you want to get in awesome shape, head to StuSmithFitness.com. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Great job, Stu.
Thank you, sir.